Like Huawei and ZTE and various others, Meizu is a Chinese smartphone brand looking to break into the international market with a selection of reasonably priced and pretty exciting smartphones. This is the MX6 and it costs $300 if you import it. That's pretty cheap for a modern smartphone. So what do you get? Well, this is a metal body, very smooth, extremely comfortable to hold. These are rounded edges, much like the iPhone 7 or the 6S. Very comfortable to hold. A little bit slippery if you wrap it in a case. You'll never know. We also really like these antenna bands here. You hardly see them, really subtle, and make the overall look of the phone very minimalist. Really like that. On the front is a 5.5-inch 1080p screen, and it runs Android 6.0. But Meizu covers it in their own Flyme user interface. A little bit different from regular Android. You get all sorts of standard apps installed, which you can't uninstall. The notification shade at the top looks pretty similar to what you'd normally expect Android to look at, and there's a few subtle changes. For example, when notifications come through, they just scroll along the top here in a little sort of ticker tape section. It's much better than a massive box suddenly appearing and blocking whatever you're doing. Not all the changes are quite so successful. Meizu has decided to alter the way you access your recent apps, and the back button, normally you'd find either side of the home button here or on the screen as software controls. Well, that's not the case here. To access your recents, you swipe up from the bottom of the screen like that, which is very different, and as you saw there, it doesn't always work first time, and I would often activate it by accident, and it's very frustrating indeed. And to use the back control, you open an app, SoundCloud for example, and then you tap the fingerprint sensor. It's a multi-stage, touch sensitive one on here. It's a single tap to return to go back, and a full press to go back to home. So very different if you're used to a regular Android smartphone. Not terrible, it's just an alteration for alteration's sake, not really something that needed to be changed. So what's powering the MX6? It's a deca-core processor, 10 cores, one from MediaTek. In the past we've had some issues with gaming on MediaTek chips, but that's not the case here. Really good little gaming phone. If you're considering this in the US, then do be aware that the bands inside do not cover 4G LTE in the US, so you're going to get 3G coverage if you use one of these. You can check out a full review of the Meizu MX6 on Digital Trends right now.